What is happening, wrestling fans? So, an interview is going around, and wrestling fans are latching on to this because Shawn Michaels has asked basically why we never got The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. I'm going to let him answer, and then we're going to talk about it. All right? Okay. I'll put the link to the full interview in the comments below.
I want to ask why we never got that match.
Well, he didn't like me.
Oh, right. Okay, that's a good answer.
I will say this again. I think in years he had there's a big
stammering a lot
shuffle in the wrestling business about me and Hunter doing stuff to him and being mean and stuff like that. All of it way blown out of proportion. None of it even accurate. But things that he was when he was younger was fed a lot.
Right.
But again, later on, and to this day, like we get along and we talk about stuff. That's what I think everybody would have liked to have seen. But by the time I came back, he was well off into his Hollywood career.
Yep.
So that's the answer he gave, right? Now look, I'm not The Rock. I'm not Shawn Michaels. I wasn't there. But over the years, I've only heard one story. The majority of you already know the story. However, I will repeat it for those of you that don't know, and we can discuss it. Now, I can't remember if it was The Rock's mother or grandmother, but I think it's his grandmother. The word goes that Shawn Michaels disrespected The Rock's grandmother somewhere. I don't know if it was at an event or a wrestling school. I've heard it told different ways, but that's what I've heard. Now, we all know. If a man disrespects our grandmother or mother, especially if we have the power, like in wrestling, there's a point to where you can choose to work with a guy or not. You're like, no. I'm at this level now. Like, I'm higher in popularity than even you. And there's no way we're working together. Now, that's if it's true. Now, Shawn just said that the stories about him and Hunter aren't even remotely accurate. It is kind of hard to believe considering him basically admitting to being a problem for several years, and being an a-hole and being hard to work with, hard to deal with, So I it's one of those things. It's like when you admit to a particular track record and there's all these bad stories about you. As great as he is, he actually is one of my favorite of all time. My favorite matches of his are with The Undertaker specifically. Those two, man. My God. But when you've admitted to X, Y, and Z and say you didn't do 1, 2, or 3, it's hard to believe considering so many people corroborating all these other stories and you admitting to certain things. But it's absolutely a possibility. Maybe The Rock heard a bad story. Maybe he heard a story that really wasn't told to him correctly. Sometimes things happen. You're told different things. Maybe it's just told from a particular perspective. And because it's told from someone maybe or family or something, it's like, whatever you got to say, I'm not going to even believe. Now, there's also the story about him kicking The Rock in the face, super kicking him too hard. And The Rock said something to him about it backstage. And he said, well, if you can't take that, like, get out of the business, like something like that. Now, I heard that pissed The Rock off. I've heard that The Rock beat him up after that or roughed him up or kind of hemmed him up type of thing. I don't know. But the one thing that I consistently hear about that story is that he hit The Rock too hard. The Rock talked to him about it in the back, and he basically snubbed it off. Like, yeah, if you can't take it, kid, get out of the business, type of thing. That I always hear that same story. You know what I mean? How many times I hear it? I've only heard once that The Rock kind of jumped on him after that. So, on top of that, on top of disrespecting your mother or grandmother, whichever one it is, I get it. You really don't get 3 strikes. You know, it's like, I'm done. I'm done with you. You know, so whether this story is true or not, he was stuttering a whole lot, man. I know what I think. I know a lot of you are thinking. I don't know if I believe him. I don't know if I believe Shawn. But yeah, post the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. If you enjoyed my thoughts and commentary on this wrestling news, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And I will see y'all in the next video. 10 million subscribers. Woo!